Welcome back to Mason's ADV. Ride along with us as we explore off the beaten path, head out for some adventure bike camping, and keep you updated on modifications and new gear for adventure riding. Be sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any adventures. Glad to have you along for the ride. Well, hey guys, Mason here. And today I woke up to 3 degrees Celsius. It's getting a little cool. So as I was standing in the garage this morning, thinking about the KLR and how it's been running this year, I thought what I would do today is the top 5 mods, accessories that I've done to the KLR that were an absolute standout this year. Things I really couldn't have done without. Absolutely made all the difference in the world. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So as some of you know, I've had some troubles in the past with my accessory charging. And this year is the first year that I ran this rock charge by ScanStrut. I will try to put a link in the description to this thing. I've spoken about it before when I was doing the review on the tank bag, but this is the first waterproof USB charging port that I haven't had any issues with. Everything else has let me down, and it usually lets me down on the trip. So this year, I mean, I went in kind of hesitant. I had a backup plan on how to charge things from my tank bag if this went sideways, but it really, really worked well. It is a bit pricey, but you don't have to spend $20 very many times, and you're up to the cost of a good part. So that was an absolute standout. I flipped the switch, it puts the power to this and sends it up the cables, charges my phone, charges my Garmin. Now, it is a little bit of a buggered open, but you can see in there how it works. There's a waterproof gasket here all the way around. Your USB cables just run in, plug in. This snaps down and locks, and everything's dry. And it worked. It worked really well. Well worth the money. Couldn't have. It made this season so much better. Just not knowing that I wasn't going to lose all the power to my dash. So that's the first. That's the first, and likely the least of the standout items. But I had to mention that. That gets an honorable mention for sure. The next thing is obviously the crash bars, because even this year I made it through the entire season. No issues, no drops, no downs. And on the trip, as we were riding out of a campground, Shooter Tech was looking at something off to the side. I was ahead of him. I stopped, put my feet down, turned around on the bike and looked off the back of the bike to see what it was he was looking at. And when I looked back forward, the bike was on a 45-degree angle, so I just stepped off. Oh, I'm over. So even this year, without any crashes or incidents, the crash bars still saved me. Plus, it gives me a spot to lash down these fender bags that I have. This side has the tools. That side has tubes and irons. So great storage as well, but it just saved all the plastic on the bike. It went down, I picked it back up, not a mark, everything good to go. So the crash bars, that's an absolute must. I think everybody knows that by now, but still an absolute must. The next thing that as I was thinking about it really came to mind was how much time I spent standing on the trip this year. We did a lot of gravel roads, a lot of really dusty, dry gravel roads this year. And because of that, when I was riding at the back, the dust was being kicked up by the other 2 guys, and you can't see what's coming. You can't read the terrain. You can't tell if you're headed for a great big pothole or a rut or a culvert or anything. So you're always just permanently in the attack position. So standing. And I couldn't have done that this year comfortably, certainly not for that duration, without the rocks risers. These rocks risers just pick the bars up enough that when I'm standing, I'm in a neutral position. And it makes a world of difference. It also, as you can tell, allowed me to take them straight up. It wasn't a bolt-on that kicks the bars back, so you can pivot these where you need them. The rocks risers really made the trip much easier for me and much more comfortable. The next thing on the list, surprisingly this year, was these front LED lights. Not because we were riding at night, not because we were riding in the dark and I needed the extra illumination, but again, when I was back in the dust, when they were off and just my headlight was on, the guys actually couldn't see me. They couldn't tell where I was. They couldn't tell how far behind I was or if I was coming. We were talking in the comms, but still. As soon as I flicked these on, even in the dust and dirt, even with a coat of dust completely over them, the guys could see me coming. And Mellon said it made a heck of a difference. The other time that he mentioned it was when we were doing highway running on the way back, and I was again at the back and flicked them on, and he said it was just amazing. It just added a little bit of extra light as the vehicles are coming towards you, let them know that there's a group of bikes coming. So the accessory lights really worked well for me this year, and that was another thing that came to mind. And finally, obviously, is the suspension. The Cogent suspension that I've put on this bike just makes riding it so nice. It's so right. It's designed exactly the way I want it. It's built for me, my weights, the way I ride, and man, it makes a difference. I was just so comfortable, all those kilometers pounding up and down, not knowing what you're going to hit next. And the Cogent suspension just soaked it all up. Now, yes, a lot of people, you know, will say how expensive it is, and there are other options, but nothing works as nice as a custom-made suspension system. And when you compare the dollar value to the fun and the comfort when you're riding, I mean, it definitely is a modification worth saving for. That's my 2 cents worth on the Cogent suspension. Absolutely amazing. It allows me to keep up to the guys on the faster machines. I can absorb everything. It takes the fear factor out of it. Things are more comfortable. It handles right. And the combination of all those things together, not having to worry about my dash charging system, which is my GPS, which on those trips is so very important. The crash bars for the luggage storage, and not having to zip tie plastics together because you did a burble in a parking lot. The fog lights, just for visibility in dust or at night or in the fog, or there's just so many applications where those come in handy. And of course the rocks risers for getting the bars up so I could stand all day. And the combination of all that genuinely made this an absolute pleasure to ride. What a great, great machine. I had so much fun this season on it. The trip was absolutely fantastic. I'm going to get into more of that here this winter, as I usually do. I save the trip footage for after Christmas to get us through the winter. But yeah, we also have some other stuff coming up too. I got some parts in from Tusk. Fortunate enough to have Rocky Mountain ATV MC reach out to me. There's a homepage now, Mason's ADV homepage, with the items that I've run and tried and like on there that they sell. And they were good enough to send me some items in the mail from the Tusk line, which I mean we all know as being inexpensive quality parts, especially when it comes to the KLR. So I'm excited to try some of that on. So there, guys, that's my takeaway from this year as I stand here and think about it. Those 5 items all together just made riding this KLR a treat. So I hope everyone's had a great season so far. I know we're coming to the end of it, but we've got a little bit of time left, but we are going to run out here shortly. And on that note, I will let you guys go. Thanks again for watching. Thank you very much for all the support. And as always, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Hey guys, if you liked that video, hit the thumbs up button for us. It goes a long way towards helping out the channel. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button in the upper corner for new videos every Sunday. Be glad to have you along for the ride.